is testing out the masking capability in this journal and then giving you my final thoughts now that I've been using it for a while. Okay, first I'm going to go ahead and section this off with tape because we need to test its capability for tape, masking fluid, and I'm going to use some of these crayons and oil pastels to do some resist. Okay, I'll explain that later. All right, let me tape this off. But I've got these little steel drop dot tools and or aluminum or whatever they are here. And what I like to do is pour some of this in here so that it doesn't dry up. And I'll just start making some marks. All right. So what I'm going to do is just make some lines. See, these come in different sizes. I think I'll start with the larger size. And I'll just start making some lines in here. Some shapes to mask all this off. Just random shapes. And I'll speed this up. And I'll speed this up and we'll move on to the next step. As far as drying time goes, with an area this small, it probably will only take about, I don't know, an hour maybe to come in here and play around. And what I wanted to do is tear some of this because I really do want to test this journal with a heavy duty tape. And I use this on arches just fine. So, but by all means, use what you have. You could use washi tape, you could use masking tape. And I'm just going to tear little strips of it. Maybe we could try some tree trunks or something. Okay, I don't really like that straight edge on it, but we'll come over here with this side then. Kind of start shaping me a tree trunk there. Guess that looks all right. Okay. I think I'll use this as a branch. So there are several ways to mask something off that you do not want to get paint on. And I'll speed this up while I just put my tree trunks in and Alright, so what we're going to do over here is more of a resist because water and oil do not mix, and crayons and oil pastels are made out of oil. It will resist the watercolor. So this is your normal crayon, but I'm going to go ahead and use a couple of colors and just make some organic shapes. Let's do some swirls. Okay. And then I'll do some little stars, maybe. Just play around with it. I mean, I'm just demonstrating for you. Obviously, you get creative, figure out something fun for you. All right, let's do, and yeah, let's just come down here. And we'll do like maybe some waves coming in. Give it that organic feel to it. All right, nothing fancy here. You've come to the wrong channel for that. All right, so now we're going to move on to the oil pastels. You're going to use it in the same manner as you use your crayon. Okay. And these are oil based. So I'm just going to do some rough sketching in. I like to keep my oil pastels very loose. Just a little scratchy scratch. All right. Now we'll try it one more. Let's come in here with a good, let's do red and brown. I don't know why, but let's do that. Okay. I'm going to scratch in some more. I don't want them to look the same. So we'll see how that acts with going over it with watercolor. And I have grabbed my water brush. This is my little travel palette that has mostly Daniel Smith in it. It's got a couple of M. Graham in there, like that cerulean. I like that. I'm gonna dive in with that cerulean. Get me some of that. And I do want to get me some of this yellow. I know this yellow, the yellow is Daniel Smith, but I don't get too caught up on paint brands, really. I'm just going to go in very loosely. Because I want it to have a very organic feel to it. I'm just painting it in. Some of that's going to come through. All right. I like mixing my colors together because once again you get very organic feel to it. Okay, now I'm going to come in with a bit of a darker green and come here more towards the center. Still keeping it organic. So I think what I'm going to do back here is go ahead and wet my background a bit here, and by doing that it's also going to help blur out some of that in the background of my pencils. All right. There we go. We know that we have softer background. It's a little bit of a phthalo blue. I'm just trying to make the appearance of some distant trees back here. So I guess I am making a little landscape on this one. All right, I like that. Sap green coming in here. This is where our light's going to be coming down through here. So it's because we're doing it organically. We can still have proper lighting. So if you've made it this far, stay tuned. I will be doing a review on this journal and giving you my thoughts on it. Now, if you remember, we had the white crayon here. We're going to go in with a darker color so it will show up. So I'm going to come into this moon glow color. And you'll see how it begins to resist. Isn't that cool? All right, we'll come in with some more dark. Make it like a little porthole there. With some stars. The masking fluid, you'll remove it. This, you will not. Okay? I want to go ahead and move over. We're going to stick with the crayon. Remember, this was also our crayon. We don't want any small pieces there. Okay, so if that's blue, let's go in with, say, an orange or yellow. We'll get some already on my palette. Try to be resourceful. And don't ask me what I'm painting. I have no idea. I'm not staying in the lines. I'm just going with it. Let's bring in a little bit of this red. Oh yeah. More of a orangey scarlet. One of my favorite things to do is to just let the paints mingle together and create magic. It's the reason why I paint. It's interesting. We'll see what happens. All right, now moving on. I want to see how the pastel is going to work. So I think I am going to go ahead and wet it first, especially just to see if there's any movement to it. I don't see any movement to it, so that's cool. So it's going to stay put. And I'm just going to do different textures back in here. Nice sky color here. It can carry on into the ground color a bit. Alright. I want that white to come down in here. This is where our... Oh, is this going to be a river? Oh, that's sienna, I believe. I like that. Alright, now on this mountain here, you know, I'm going to do a purple mountain because I can. Right? And then I'm going to take some of that purple and drop it up over in here to bring in a little bit of harmony. What should I do with this one? Well, I really kind of wanted an orangey sky back up in here. So I think I'll start with that. And smooth it out and add some yellow in there too. And it's okay if it goes on that mountain because we want the sun reflecting off of it. And then we've got our yellow coming in. This is going to be very bright. And it's okay to play around with your supplies like this to see what will work together and what won't. I recommend it anyway. Okay, so if you've made it this far, thank you for hanging in there. Um, yeah, so I want to go ahead and show you how to remove this masking fluid. You can just rub your finger over it like this, but I like to use the square myself because you have to put a bit of pressure, and I have arthritis, so yeah, this square rubber, I forget what it's called, but anyway, it works great, and it specifically is for this purpose. I've never had a problem with it like tearing my paper or anything like that. So, and then I just rub my hand over to make sure that yeah, these little things just come off. Kind of build up there. But anyway, what I was saying was I just rub my fingers over it to make sure I've got it all removed. So that is how you remove the masking fluid once you are done, and you can now reveal your white spaces underneath. And I'm not noticing any kind of ripping or tearing of this journal. The real test will come when we remove the tape. So let's move forward to that. Actually, it's coming off quite easy. So a little bit about this journal. This is the BAOHONG Academy 100% cotton journal. It is the hot press, which means that the pages, the texture, the sizing on the surface is very smooth, so it's great with markers. I really haven't had any problems with removing tape. My honest opinion on this journal, it's easy to erase in. This is the best journal, the absolute best journal that I've used yet to date. Now, of course, I haven't tried a gazillion journals, I've tried a few. The only suggestion that I would make, like a little pocket or something in the back or somewhere, that it would be easier to take on the go. So, and I could put a couple of paper towels in there to take with me. So that's not really a big issue for me because the quality of it, you can't go wrong with this journal. So yes, I highly, highly recommend it, and a big thumbs up to the BAOHONG company. So I want to put a disclaimer out there that I'm not affiliated with BAOHONG. I buy all my own art supplies. I have never received an art supply in exchange for a review. I would be upfront about that with you. I do have affiliate links with Amazon. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know down in the description, have you used this journal? All right. I hope to see you in the next one. I've got lots of exciting stuff coming up. So until then, my dear friends, happy creating.